Salut tout le monde, c'est Miss Pepper et aujourd'hui on se retrouve pour l'interview avec Randy. Hi Randy, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, excited to be here, and yeah, I'm curious. It's already going wild there in the crowd.
Yes,
so,
the crowd is really crazy tonight.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, yes, we are really happy to have you here in Toulouse. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be very lit. We can't wait to see you on stage. I have some question for you. You're in the music industry since a long time, and I would like to know how did you begin in the industry music? What type of music did you mix when you just begin to produce or to mix?
Oh, well,
how does that begin?
I bought my turntables in 1999, so that's
okay. Like 2 years before I was born, literally.
That's a long time ago.
After
I was at in the city, and I was watching Chesso play there, and I was like, man, I was in the front. I was like, I'm gonna buy turntables, and I started off with hard trance, and but back then, I listened to a lot of music from Scott Project, and then a lot of German guys, and then hardstyle came up, and I was immediately in love with hardstyle. So yeah.
And you begin to mix with the hardstyle and hard trance, so
yeah, definitely. And in the beginning, I played pretty eclectic. Also, had some techno in there, some hardcore at the end. I fell in love with hardstyle, and I still am. So
you never change your mind about it.
No, I think it's still one of the best music styles to party to, and it's great to produce. So
yes, with heavy kicks.
Love it. Yeah, it got a lot heavier, of course. Hardstyle changed a lot over the years, and you actually see now techno coming up, which sounds a lot like early hardstyle, actually.
Really, yeah.
They actually play early hardstyle, so that's pretty cool to see, and it's interesting. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. And now, what can we expect of Randy for this year, for this upcoming year? Do you want to still do hardstyle, raw style?
Yeah, of course.
Extra raw style?
Of course. I'm making a lot of new music. I'm gonna launch a new project at Rebirth.
Okay.
It's gonna be called Illuminate. I'm actually gonna play the track for the first time tonight, or at least a test version.
Wow!
Yeah,
we have a great info.
Yeah, and another premiere. I'm gonna play a new track with B-Front, new collab called Braveheart, and so a lot of new music at the moment. And I'm gonna be producing a lot for the summer and
for the season festival, for the festival season.
Definitely, and Illuminate is gonna be a sync live show, which has a lot of entertainment and
that's gonna be great for the festival.
I think it's gonna be really cool. Yeah.
Okay, and I heard that you just play some new tracks at Climax 2022, and when will them be released?
The first release is going to be in February, most probably. And it's going to be the Nightmare Factory. And
The Nightmare Factory,
which is a little bit more raw.
Raw style, we love that.
Yeah. So and I always mix it up during my career. I've always made euphoric tracks and raw tracks, and of course the Gunsfire stuff, which is pretty raw at the moment. So
yes.
That's what I love.
You want to adapt yourself, like we heard a lot of up-tempo kicks, but at 160 BPM, so for the raw style.
Of course we do that, yeah.
Are we going to expect Randy to follow the trend or to step out of the box this year?
It depends, You always follow trends, because otherwise you're gonna sound outdated. At least that's what I think.
Yes, and it happens really fast.
Yeah, and then you incorporate that in your own style, so you include elements in your own way, in your own taste, and then something comes out that sounds you, but in a new jacket, and that's what I've always done, and I think it's important, because otherwise you're going to sound outdated, and but you don't
want to look old and to feel old for the other.
Well, I think it's important to always have your own style, but still keep flowing with what's happening in the scene, Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I had the chance to meet a lot of DJs, and they told me that they don't listen that much hardstyle. So I met a hardstyle DJ, raw style, and they just told me that they're not listening to hardstyle and raw style every day, like pretty never. Do you listen to hardstyle and raw style in the daily life or nothing at all, except when you're in the studio?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm in the studio the whole day, so
okay.
When I have some free time, I usually listen to maybe some singer-songwriter stuff. You know, that's just some chill stuff, and and everything. I follow what's happening in the hit list and to see what's new and
not just hardstyle, but sometimes techno or pop music.
Yeah, of course. Okay, it depends. I try to follow music as much as possible, and see what's happening, and when I do sports, I do put hardstyle on, because that's just
when you do sport, you have to put hardstyle on your playlist.
Good music to sport.
Exactly.
So,
maybe you can be inspired also by the other styles of music.
And I just love music in a broad way. I can listen to classical music. I can listen to singer-songwriter stuff. I can listen to metal, to everything, techno.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's all your inspirations, or do you have something in particular when you do a song? How do you create a song? How do you imagine it?
It's different every time. Sometimes a melody pops up in my brain. I go to the piano and I work it out. Then I go to the studio and I create a track around that. I have like a million notepads in my phone. And also, voice recordings, melody recordings with my piano, everything, So I have so many small sketches everywhere laying around. And then, when I start creating new tracks, I just pick something from my phone or a MIDI that I made on my computer. It's different every time. Sometimes I see a movie, I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I'm gonna make a track about this.
And the idea just pop in your head, and you're like, I have an idea. I have to do that.
My brain is like a magnet for that. It's always like.
Yes, I see.
So
how long can it takes for you to do a song, to do a track? It depends.
Every time. Sometimes it's a week. Sometimes you're stuck on a track. It's like a month.
Okay.
It happens.
A week.
Sometimes it's a couple
so fast.
A week is pretty fast.
Yeah.
I know some guys make tracks in a couple of days. That's not for me.
That's crazy.
I spend a week at least on a track.
Yes.
And if you include the sound design, it's way longer.
If for the mastering
making of the track, the kicks, the sounds, everything. So yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. I have a lot of friends that are DJing, and I would like to know if you have some pieces of advice to give to an upcoming DJ.
Just work hard,
work hard.
Work hard.
It
doesn't just fall from the sky and but if you're passionate about it, then you're probably going to do everything to get to where you want to be. At least that's how it went with me. I had a goal that I wanted to play at big events, and I want to play my music for people. So you have to work hard for that, otherwise it doesn't happen. And if you're on stage, then express yourself. You
that's really important.
Show the people that you love that music. It's just that makes you one with the crowd, if you're on stage like this.
So I would like to know if you still pay attention to figures about your music. Do you still pay attention to all the figures, the followers, the stream, the views on your YouTube video, maybe?
Yeah, of course. It's important for me to at least reach my following. I want as many people as possible to hear my new track, so
yes, of course.
And of course then you follow what the streams are doing, and if a track is doing well or not,
Okay.
And and
to see if you can touch the people in the right way also.
I mean it's not the most important thing, it's not the thing when you're in the studio, you're not thinking like, oh, this should really have a lot of reach, but I mean, if the track is going out there, I think it's important to know how you're doing and how you can reach your people, because with social media, it's really important to
yes, especially in those days. And I talk with a lot of DJs, and they just told me that they are exhausted sometimes to be always on Instagram. They have to post every day. They have to do some stories every day, and they just tired of that? And do you feel the same? Sometimes you may be tired of posting every day, or do you feel that there is something changing in the social media for the music?
It kind of depends on my mood, you know.
Okay,
I'm
yes.
a lot of times I forget to post. I'm not the guy that posts from my studio like, hey guys, I made a new kick, check it out. You know, it's like I'm busy with my music, you know, but I know I have I have to do that. You know, people want to follow you, want to see what's going on. So it depends on the period. When I'm on tour, of course I post, you know, but I feel like, hey, I have something to show to the people now, you know. But when I'm in my studio and I'm unshaved, you know, I'm in my jogging pants, I'm not like, hey guys, check it out.
Don't you have this feeling that is sometimes intrusive, or
well, if I'm honest, if this wouldn't be my job, I wouldn't even have social media. Just an honest answer, you know. It's I do this because I want to share my music with people, you know,
and you have to
my performances and what's happening. So and that's of course important. So, but it's like an extra job. Like at one time, it was like, here's social media, guys. You all have to do it.
That's it. But to promote your music, to share your music, have a discussion also with the followers. You have to do that.
That's the nice thing about social media. You know, it's you get feedback from people that also, you know, gives you energy. You know, if you read positive stuff, you know, that you know, it gives you a good vibe, you know, and it motivates you to make new music, you know.
Yes.
But the most important thing for me is what happens in that room, you know, when I'm playing. That's the thing I always take with me, you know. Was the crowd good? Was the gig good? You know, that's important for me. So
okay. Well, I have one last question for you. What's your best memory on stage?
I have quite a few. Some that really stuck with me are my own exclusive. It was a special night. Making the DEFCON anthem was pretty cool, and closing DEFCON with that track was really cool.
I would like to know what's your funniest moments on stage.
It was pretty windy that day, so I was playing in the hot air balloon, and it was pretty rocky. You know, so
really?
Yeah,
you played in a
hot air balloon. Yeah, and then
wow.
I'm not gonna tell what stream it was, but it doesn't matter. But anyways, you know, it was pretty windy, and already the speakers were falling off. And
no way.
So I was like, okay, this is not good. And I was looking at the balloon guy, and he was like
no.
Pretty windy, it's pretty windy. So and then we went to the ground. We kind of hit the ground, like bam, pretty rough.
Whoa.
And the equipment kind of fell down again. I was like, okay, this is not good, you know. And I'm really busy with the ropes. Then we hit the ground again, and then the balloon actually broke loose. So we were dragged over the ground. Yeah, and that was pretty intense.
And the speakers?
Well, everything fell over, the whole thing, you know, and also like the gas tanks in there. So
but
we were kind of laying there like that.
Oh but it was a big one because you have to have the place for DJ and for the speakers, and
it was
how
pretty
was
small.
That?
You know?
I can't imagine.
It was a lot of fun to do, but the ending was pretty intense. But
it was pretty rough.
Yeah. So that was a unique experience.
Yes, I can understand. Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
So that's stuff that happens. You know, I could tell you a lot more stories, guys, but I'll stick
in your
to
long
this
career.
For now. For the next interview, I'll tell you another
one. Oh, so there will be a next one, maybe.
I don't know. It depends. There's another funny one. So it was back in Italy. It was the birthday of a club, and the idea was that I would play Live for the Moment. Everybody would sing Happy Birthday before that, and they actually had a cake.
Okay.
And they came out with
a birthday cake.
It was a nice sticky cake with candles on it, and they were hanging it above the turntables, and I was like, "Oh, guys, watch it!" And
yes,
of course, it was like in a bad movie. The whole cake flipped over. On the turntable, sticky side down. So I was like, okay, guys, this is not gonna work anymore. And they said, no, it's no problem. It's okay. So we tried to wipe everything clean, but after one track, it was already everything was, canceling and stopping all the time. So it was funny. And it actually took like 15-20 minutes to get a new turntable there. And
shit.
But Yeah, we managed.
Okay, well, we will finish this interview because you have to go on stage.
I have to
yes.
play some bangers.
Yes, many
Yeah.
thanks
You're welcome.
to answer to my questions.
Yeah, thanks for this
I
nice
just gave
bird.
you this mascot from Alsace. Les Alsaciens, vous savez ce que c'est? C'est une cigogne. Il a dit qu'il la mettrait dans la chambre de ses enfants. So you just say that maybe you will put them in the room of your kids.
Yeah.
And it will be an honor for me. Many thanks, Randy, for being with me, and
You're welcome.
have a good time on stage.
Thanks.
See you
Thanks for
soon.
the interview, and see you next week.
Yes, bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
What's in your hand?